Blessings Bakhanyiselwa. Today we continue with the mysteries of the ancestral cloths, and we are on the mysteries of Impangele, the guinea fowl. This cloth right here, like all the other cloths, is very sacred and quite special, like all the other cloths. The guinea fowl is a very interesting cloth, and it holds one of the deepest mysteries of the spirit. Ancestrally, edlozini, it is said that the guinea fowl cloth is for the messenger, isithunywa. That is actually true in more ways than one. First and foremost, the guinea fowl is for those initiates that are said to be born with ingubo, right? A placenta or a cool. They are born as a royal people destined to be great healers and wise men. They are naturally lucky and they are double in nature. I've already made a post, a full video on people who are born this way. So we're not going to go deeply into that. We're just going to repeat certain points here and there. If you haven't checked out the video, please do, especially after this one. When you dream of this cloth, it means wazalwa wembethe. You were born with a cool or a placenta. When you are born with a placenta, it is said that you have a spiritual twin, and this spiritual twin becomes part of your shadow. Therefore, such a person will have two shadows. And this condition of being born with two shadows is represented right here on this cloth by these two guinea fowls. In the not so olden times, a ceremony would be done for such a person. And in this ceremony, a sacrifice would be made, and whatever animal that is chosen for the sacrifice, there had to be two of these animals, and the sacrificial animals must be exactly the same, especially in terms of color and markings. So if a goat is to be used, there must be two goats with the same exact color and similar markings on the exact same spot on their bodies. If it's a cow, there must be two cows with the exact same color and, most importantly, the exact same markings on the same spots on their bodies. And if it's a fowl, there must be two fowls, right? They must be the exact same fowls with exactly the same markings, same color, and the same spots on their bodies. Bakhanyiselwa, what better fowl to use than the guinea fowl? I mean, all guinea fowls have the exact same color, the exact same markings on the exact same spots on their bodies, right? So the guinea fowl is a perfect animal to represent the twins, hence it is printed on this cloth. And get this, during the ceremony of the twins, the twin will be painted in black and white, and this is the same color represented on this cloth, and it is obviously the natural color of the guinea fowl, right? The guinea fowl is for those initiates who have spiritual twins. Even symbolically, the guinea fowl is a perfect representation of the twins. There's no better symbol. Now, another mystery of the people of this cloth is that since they have a spiritual twin in the spirit world, it means that they can actually use their twin as a sort of spirit guide. This is when their twin becomes their sirungwe or isithunywa, their messenger. So for the fact that they have a spiritual twin means that they have an extra eye in the spirit world. We can call this the eye of the twin, which they can use in certain ways. The eye of the twin is the eye of Idlozi, in other terms. Now, this is when we can also speak of the mystery of isithunywa sirungwe, the messenger. As I said, this cloth is for those who work closely with the mysteries of isithunywa. First of all, we all have isithunywa, right? A messenger. That being that is sent to us for our safekeeping. This is your custodian, umphathi wakho, right? And we all have a spiritual guard, a custodian allocated to each and every one of us. Sometimes you can feel this custodian in your dreams. Sometimes you can even see this custodian in your dreams. When you are born, your custodian is with you. When you die, your custodian will be with you. And even when you reincarnate, the custodian is naturally your guard, right? And it is represented on this cloth as the two fowls, right? This is you and your custodian. Now, the mystery is that this guard can actually be turned into a guardian or a guide, where instead of it being just a guard, like a detached security guard, it becomes a guardian, like a compassionate parent. Part of the initiation of Istunya is about the process of turning your guard into a guide. This is true on so many levels. Each of us has a feature within us, which is our guard. It helps us with our survival, and it is largely connected with our natural instincts. When you are in danger, this guard is activated and you either fight or flee. When we say keep your guard up, we are actually activating this feature, right? We even create a mask for this guard in order to protect ourselves from the onslaughts of our fellow men. So this natural instinct can be turned into divine intuition, where it is no longer used only for survival, but also for receiving wisdom, divinations, and guidance. So now you've turned a natural instinct into a divine tool for receiving messages. This is the same thing that happens when one is undergoing the initiation of Istun, the initiation of the messenger. It is the initiation of turning a spirit guard into a spirit guide, where a mindless security is turned into a mindful advisor. So the people of this cloth are those who are also bound to have spirit friends. This is true on so many levels. The energy makeup of the people of this cloth makes it easy for them to make spirit friends and to work with these spirit friends in certain ways. On the other hand, this cloth is for those initiates who are gifted dreamers. Yes, it's true that everybody dreams naturally, but some people have an extra something when it comes to dreaming. It is this extra something that makes these people superb dreamers. This extra something is the shadow of their twin. This extra something has to do with how their energy is made up. And it is this extra something that makes them go an extra mile when it comes to dreaming. They can go an extra mile without being drained and without even trying to do so, where an average person would be drained dry like a desert, and they would have to train themselves hard and put so much effort in order to accomplish the same tasks that gifted dreamers can easily attain. This is what differentiates an average dreamer and a gifted dreamer. So the initiates of this cloth are your natural dreamers, your gifted astral projectors, and your gifted lucid dreamers. In fact, these people don't really dream. Instead, bayatong, in that they become one with itong when they sleep. Theirs is the mystery of God's sleep, ubutong. These people bavugwa idlozi when they sleep. The minute they lay their heads on the pillow, on the umsamo, the altar, they awaken the spirit. So when they sleep, they don't just dream, they actually awaken. The people that wear this cloth are what we can also call astral travelers, abamakhosi betong, because they travel the dream world and deep into its deepest levels, right? When they sleep, they project themselves out of their bodies and they fly away. That's why they are also double beings, because they live double lives, a life in the dream world and a life in the waking world. Such a double life is represented by the two guinea fowls. Right? So intense is this double life that it shrinks and minimizes the thick veil which separates the waking life and the dream life, to a point where there is no veil or separation between your dreams and your so-called reality, where your dreams become too vivid and concrete and real, and your waking life becomes too dreamy, fluid, and illusionary. Such is the sacred initiation of the dreamers. This cloth is for dream initiates, Amatwasana Weto. And these dreamers have to learn to turn their mindless dreaming that guards them from the onslaughts of the Itongo into mindful dreaming that guides them into the mysteries of Itongo, where now we can even say that they have attained the state of Ubutongo, to be one with Itongo, their dreaming self. For these people, initiation is in dreams, and they must undergo what is called Intwaso Yamatongo Aiskhombisa, the sacred initiation of the 7 sacred dreams. These are the 7 sacred initiations that they need to undergo. Each dream opens them up in a certain way, so it opens up a particular center within them. The mysteries of this cloth go very deep indeed. Some of the gifts that are associated with this cloth is the ability to divine using shadows. Your shadow can be read like one reads a book or a secret diary. In fact, there are a whole lot of mysteries that are connected to the shadow. Such mysteries are connected to this cloth because they are closely connected to the mysteries of those who are born with spiritual twins. When we look at the symbology of the cloth, it tells us just that. There are small guinea fowls printed all around the cloth, as we can see, and they are all printed in black to represent the shadows of the guinea fowl. And when we look at the guinea fowls themselves, they seem to be reflecting each other. And we see this happening in detail right here in the middle of the pattern. These two shadows are reflections of each other. They are the twins. In fact, this is our own South African symbol of Gemini, because astrologically, the twins are connected to the house of Gemini, or Cons, or even Min. So the initiates of this cloth must study the mysteries of Gemini, Cons, and Min, and even Jehuti, and see what these elders have to teach them. In total, we have 92 of these shadowy guinea fowls printed all around the cloth, right? And 9 plus 2 is equals to 11. The number 11 is a number that actually symbolizes the twins, because 1 and 1 are reflections of each other. When we include the 4 guinea fowls on the corner there, right, and plus the 2 fowls in the middle, we get a total of 98. 9 plus 8 is 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. Therefore, 8 is also the number of the twins, because even in shape, it is represented by 2 circles put together, or 2 elements intertwined with each other, as we can see. The spots that we see on this cloth are the natural marks of a guinea fowl, yes, but these spots also symbolize some of the deepest mysteries of the dreamer. It would take long for me to explain the mysteries now, but what I can say is that each spot represents the many dreams that these dreamers have. And dreamers do have to reach a certain point in their dreaming where they also develop an eye. This is what we can call Isoletong, the eye of dreaming. This eye is represented by the spots of the guinea fowl. Each spot represents an eye, which is to say each spot represents a certain dream. In fact, when you develop the eye as a dreamer, it can also appear as a spot of bright light, right? But this only happens to experienced dreamers, whereas at the beginning you may see a huge eye. Then you can use this eye to enter into your dreaming at any time, and most mysteriously, most curiously, you can enter into the dream worlds with your whole body, together with your pajamas, underwear, and thick socks gone. The mysteries of the dreamer are indeed very deep. Just like all the other cloths, this cloth is special, it is sacred, it has its own mysteries, it has its own gifts, it has its own burdens, and it has its own initiation. In terms of symptoms, dreamers are very serious people. They can be very moody, paranoid, and very secretive. Anxiety is one of the symptoms of a dreamer because they experience a lot in their dreams, and such anxiety is caused by the nature of their dreams, such that they may avoid sleep. They may have insomnia, which is triggered by the nature of their dreams. Other initiates of this cloth cannot sleep with their lights off because of the many shadows that they sense in the dark. But these are the children of the night. Their power gets activated at night during the time of the shadows. That is why these initiates are connected to the moon. And this is what makes their initiation a bit hard because they have, they are working with a very hard element. But because they have the extra energy to boost them, it's okay. All initiates that work with the moon are working with a very hard element. It is easier to work with the earth and even much easier to work with the sun, but to work with the moon is a challenge. In short, let me give an example. Women are closely connected with the moon, and thus their lives are quite difficult. Their bodies are governed by many laws as compared to the bodies of a male. Women have an extra feature which is not found in man, and this exclusive feature connects them with the moon. That is why a woman dreamer is always a super dreamer, because she can naturally go an extra mile. Indeed, there's no limit to what a woman can do as a dreamer, and women dreamers have to be taught in their own way. The elders say when you encounter a female sorcerer who is also a dreamer, the best you can do is to run for the caves and hope her eye will not find you. Women are on another level. And in truth, women cannot be taught like males. Right? That's why the ancient ones and the old ones used to initiate women and men separately. To teach a woman the same way you teach a man is to rob women of their power. It is to overlook and ignore the advantage that women have when it comes to spirituality. But we are not there. I was still saying that the initiates of this cloth are connected to the moon. The reason for this also includes the fact that the moon also has its own shadow. It always has half of itself completely hidden. It wanes and waxes. Sometimes it's full, like a pregnant woman. Sometimes it's completely hidden, although we know that it's there, like a stalk. Such conditions describe the initiates of this cloth. Right? Now, on the other hand, the initiates of this cloth are those who are also connected with the mysteries of the twin flame, the soulmates. Such people are more likely to connect with their twin flames whether in dreams or in waking life. There's this special connection between these people and their twin flames due to the fact that they are connected to the mysteries of being double, the mysteries of the twin. To have a twin flame is an initiation on its own, and it is a challenge on its own, right? In the olden times, such people would be brought together and they would be initiated into the mysteries of attaining enlightenment through Tantra. These special twins would even get to a level where they can consciously dream together. Such initiates would also be given a task which has to do with the mysteries of initiation, of ascension rather, and they would be given the responsibility to help others ascend. To meet up with your twin flame activates a lot of ancient memories. These are ancient memories of the self. So the initiation of twin flames is an initiation of remembering the self, and you cannot remember your twin unless you remember yourself. In fact, remembering is a very important aspect for these initiates. Not only do they have to remember themselves in waking life, they are also challenged to remember themselves in dreams. And most importantly and obviously, they are challenged to remember their dreams. So, in this way, theirs is the initiation of self remembering, encoded within the 7 sacred dreams of initiation. In conclusion, Bakanyiselwa, let's just have a quick recap. We said this cloth is for the twins, right? The messenger and the Itong. When you look at the twin guinea fowls, you must know that you are looking at you and your twin. You are looking at you and your spirit guide. You are looking at you and your twin flame, and you are looking at you and your higher self, who is also your twin. When you have this cloth, you are a dreamer and you are connected to the moon. It would be wise to keep track of how the moon affects you and your dreams. You are a child of the moon. You are the descendant of the moon and a custodian of the guinea fowl. You are also a custodian of the zebra, which is also another moon animal. As a dreamer, you will have sporadic changes in moods and feelings. You might experience time lapses, memory loss, insomnia, fatigue, and even auditory hallucinations. Dreamers have a fluidic mind. Their minds are fluid. It is this mind that makes them gifted dreamers, and at the same time, it is this mind that makes them lose their minds easily. That's why they must be adaptable to the fluidity of their minds. There is definitely a lot to say here about Kanyiselwa. It's just that I don't want to be too long. 20 minutes is enough. So I think we should stop here for this lesson. Definitely we want to have part 2 for each and every one of these cloths, right? But in that part 2, we'll be talking more about the gifts themselves more than about the cloth, right? So please, Bakanyiselwa, do like, do subscribe, and do spread the word, spread the mysteries, spread this information so that it reaches a lot of people. Our ancestral cloths are actually very important, right? They cover every aspect of it. I'm telling you, every aspect of initiation known to man. They contain very sacred knowledge and they contain very sacred maps. For now, please contemplate on the lessons that we've covered so far, and we'll see each other next time. Tao.